Have you ever heard about a war where the enemy was not soldiers, tanks, or planes, but giant birds? No, this isn't a joke or a tall tale. It actually happened in Australia in 1932. And yes, the birds won. This is the story of the Great Emu War, a bizarre episode where the Australian military fought emus. Back in the early 1930s, Australia was going through a tough time. The Great Depression had hit hard, and farmers were struggling to grow crops. The government had encouraged many veterans from World War I to settle in Western Australia and take up farming. But then an unexpected problem appeared. Thousands of emus started migrating into the farmland. Now, if you don't know, emus are huge, flightless birds, kind of like ostriches. They can grow up to 6 feet tall and run really fast. And in 1932, a big group of these birds decided the farmers' wheat fields were the perfect place for a snack. The emus caused massive damage to the crops. They trampled fields and gobbled up what little food was left. For the farmers, it was a disaster. Their livelihoods were at risk. So the farmers asked the government for help. The government responded ... by sending the army. Yes, you heard that right. The Australian government declared war on emus. In November 1932, Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery led a small group of soldiers armed with machine guns and trucks to tackle the emu invasion. Their mission? To reduce the emu population and save the crops. Sounds straightforward, right? Well, it didn't go exactly as planned. At first, the soldiers tried to line up their guns and take down the birds. But emus are fast and surprisingly smart. The birds scattered in small groups, dodging bullets. The rough terrain made it hard for the soldiers to move quickly or keep up. There were reports that even when the guns fired, many emus just kept running, unbothered. The soldiers faced a few major problems. The machine guns often jammed after firing a few rounds. The emus' speed and unpredictable movements made targeting them difficult. One soldier described the experience as like trying to shoot a bullet at a bullet because the birds moved so quickly. Despite using over 2,500 rounds of ammunition, only about 100 emus were actually killed. After several weeks of these battles, the government called off the operation. The Great Emu War ended with the emus effectively winning. The birds continued to roam the farmlands, and the farmers still struggled with crop damage. So what can we learn from this strange chapter in history? First, it is a reminder that nature doesn't always bend to human plans, even with military force. Second, it shows how sometimes simple solutions like guns and armies aren't the answer to environmental problems. In fact, after the war, the government switched to building exclusion barriers and encouraging farmers to use fencing and other humane ways to protect their land. So the next time you hear about a strange war, remember the Great Emu War, when Australia declared war on birds ... and lost. If you enjoyed this story, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more weird history tales you want to believe are true. Thanks for watching.